It's always been our hope that Santuario would be a film that can make a difference. And we hope that people who will see it can recognize the brokenness of the immigration system and that it's creating separation in families, not only at our border, but through deportations. Hi, I'm Pilar Timpane, and I'm the co-director of Santuario.
I'm Christine Delp, and I am the other co-director of Santuario.
Santuario is a short documentary. The story is about Juana Tobar. She entered sanctuary in May of 2017.
I actually saw Juana's story on the news, and I thought that it was an incredibly powerful story. So I reached out to Pilar, and I said, I think we should make a film about Juana's story, and so we did.
Juana's experience was that she had received a deportation sentence, and instead of leaving the country and leaving her family and children, she decided to take sanctuary at an Episcopal church in Greensboro, North Carolina. Our first shoot was in early June of 2017, so we met her about 15 days after she entered. And we followed her on camera for about 7 months.
Our biggest challenge making this film is that we didn't know how it was going to end. And we had to be available at any given point in case something happened with her case. And we really wanted a happy ending. We really wanted her to be out of sanctuary at the end of the film. That didn't happen.
So it's currently been about 18 months, and she's still in sanctuary today. So she's still living in the church, and her family is still in another place. So they see her on the weekends and when they're able to, but it's a challenge. She doesn't have a clear way forward right now. After Donald Trump was elected, there had been a lot of deportations going on, but there's actually an uptick in terms of deportations of non-criminal offenses. So that would have been people that were not tagged necessarily for a criminal record case or anything related to that, but rather just people who had expired visas. And so Juana was sort of a part of that.
And sanctuary is not anything that's protected by law. Sanctuary is an ancient tradition, really, where churches come together to provide shelter for people that are facing some kind of persecution. There is some legal protections via a Obama-era executive order that sort of said that ICE should not enter sensitive locations like churches, schools, and hospitals. However, there's no law, and so at this point, no one has tried to remove Juana from the premises.
Very recently in North Carolina, there was actually a man who left sanctuary to go to a biometrics appointment, and his whole church came around him and went with him. He unfortunately was deported. There were plainclothes officers who kind of captured him, and it was just this really awful moment there. And then 27 people from the church where he was in sanctuary all got arrested. There is a risk in terms of exposing themselves to the idea of housing people that are within a system. But the pastor at Juana's church would say that, Juana and her family are taking a larger risk, and that what sanctuary churches or the people that are housing, that they're trying to put their privilege on the line instead of actually taking a large risk, but they're just saying, I'm willing to lay down my privilege in order to sort of try to help in the situation.
So part of the reason that we were really interested in this story is we were interested in the idea of kind of the everyday activists. These are people that are doing what they can, but what they're also doing is somewhat radical, right? These are, little church ladies that are spending all of their time with Juana and making sure that she feels safe and protected and is taken care of as best as she can in a really horrible situation of not being at home with her family.
In terms of what can move this forward for Juana or other people in sanctuary, it's really about lawmakers and their activity. And one of the difficulties for Juana and for our story, I think, is that in North Carolina, we don't have a lot of progressive candidates, or we don't have a lot of progressive voices out there who are in leadership. And so we really hope that with this film, we're going to be able to do some work for her and raise this awareness for her too. And going forward with our impact strategy, we are working with Fledgling and Working Films to create a summit where we're going to bring together some like-minded people from the film space and broadcast space, but also from activist and church-oriented groups. And we're going to have a robust strategy in terms of getting this film to the people who can see it and then ask themselves what they can do to support sanctuary and help Juana get out.
Tribeca If Then is a program for short documentary films. Filmmakers can apply based on the region that they're in. 5 to 6 films are selected. Those projects attend a regional film festival where they then pitch in front of a jury, and then the jury selects one project to receive $25,000 and a year of distribution mentorship with Tribeca Film Institute. I kind of kept my eye out for when it would come to the American South. We applied and were super happy to get in, and we went to New Orleans Film Festival, and we had just a trailer. We'd maybe shot like 4 times with Juana and her family. You know, the day before the pitch, we practiced over and over and over again, and the day of we were really nervous. We didn't think we were gonna get it, but we did. And it really launched this film for us. One of the things that I learned about being off book and connecting with the people that are watching your pitch and making them feel that they have to give you money because this story has to be told.
Having something like the If Then pitch was really huge for us because we were able to scale up our project. And I think for Southern filmmakers, there's so much creativity and so much vision and such an amazing, specific kind of storytelling that's very unique and beautiful and diverse down in the South. And I think that bringing funding to those environments is huge because more people need to see those stories, and that's exciting about If Then.